Okay, we are in the Derrick Lewis Daniel Cormier fight. We are in the second round, and we're just going to talk through a single leg sequence that Daniel works on Derrick. We're also going to show that Derrick's actually quite a good uh, defensive wrestler, so we're just going to talk through this bit by bit. So let's move until we get to the point where we make Daniel's attachment. So Derrick has been backed against the cage. He knows that's not a good place to be, so he steps forward and throws a knee. I think that's more like to scare Daniel and make him back off, but actually what it's giving DC is an opportunity to come in, follow this leg in, and make his attachment. But what I'd like you to see is Derrick initially defends the takedown by trying to frame on the shoulder and head of DC, which he misses. And then his next frame would be to get this elbow in between the shoulder and the neck and form a barrier with his forearm. He also misses that. So he tries to drive his elbow in, that misses, and it goes scooting across the back of DC's neck, and DC is now in head on the hips, and he's going to get a grip, not a very good grip, but a grip of Derrick's thigh. Now DC is going to push him into the cage, and we'll see as he pushes him into the cage. Doesn't attempt any takedowns here. Derrick is still actively trying to lift that hip, trying to get bounce on his foot. DC is going to bounce him off the cage, and with that bounce and with lifting that hip, he goes to a much deeper grip, gripping the wrist high up of his right arm with his left. So his palms down on here. Beautiful bit of technique to get a deeper grab and get him behind the knee, get his head deeper. Okay, bounces off the cage. Now, when he bounces Derrick off the cage, he steps up to the control zone. So we can see that this foot steps up to the control zone. And in some cases, he would have loaded Derrick over the shoulder, but in this case, Derrick is very upright. He's not got his body weight slung over the back of Daniel Cormier, so he's not really going to get loaded up and lifted. So Daniel's going to use the bounce off the cage to try a cut through single leg. So he go back a little bit. He bounces him off the cage and then drags that hip away, trying to get Derrick's back facing down alongside the cage and trying to use his ear on the belly and use his body to swing this thigh past both thighs and make Derrick sit down over here. Now, Derrick does a fantastic job because all he does is he pushes the top of the head slightly with the other hand, I believe, and drags his leg out a little bit so it's long, so that pressure from that head is not there. He also stuffs his leg in between DC's legs, stopping that leg being able to be dragged across the body. Very, very good. Very, very good defense. Now we see, as we move, I'm just going to focus on Derrick at the moment. We see Derrick do a little hip. He's looking for limp leg out. Alright, let's go back to where we were. Okay, so DC has failed with his cut single leg. So the next move in his sequence is to drag that knee in deeper so he stays stationary. Drag that knee in deeper and try and hit the piped single leg. So how do we know he's going to do that? Well, as he steps back, he's going to pivot 90 degrees with this leg and he's going to put it out over here. And normally what that would do is it would swing his hips and then he'd follow the swing of the body. He would have the femur locked tight against his chest and the ear on the hip. So the leg would swing out and then his body would follow it and then he would fold down to sit Derrick Lewis down. So we get into this point, but Derrick does a really nice job of hooking on the inside of the leg and just pushing those arms down. So we'll see DC step out and try the pipe, but nothing happens. Yeah, Derrick is looking for the limp leg all through this. So he stepped out, he's folded down, he's tried to suck in the leg, he's tried to get his head deep enough on the hip. Derrick has pushed this arm down, he's made distance, so Daniel does not even attempt to swing Derrick around in this direction and use the piped single leg. So now Derrick knows that what he needs to do is to make distance. He's really good at limp legging his leg out of these situations. So he's going to start to lift Daniel's head. Now this is an important bit that people don't do, okay? So he's going to lift Daniel's head, and now he's going to push it away. Look at that, and he just turns his hips off that. Now Daniel does not have any attachment to this femur for the piped single leg. He can't cut the leg through because this hook's on, the balance is on, this leg is straight, so if Derrick manages to turn his hips, he might be able to pull his hips out and run away. Derrick is straightening his arms, he wants to twist his hips. So DC knows that this foot is on his leg, he knows that he's got a good grip here, so what he's going to do now is going to lift this leg, step around it and place his foot, this leg, he's going to step around it and place his foot directly under the knee. So we'll see him swing his foot out and place his leg directly under the knee. As he does that, he slides his right arm down to the ankle. Okay, why does he put this knee underneath this knee? So this is going to be a straight line of power up here. If he tried to lift the leg over here, Derrick would just kick that leg down into the ground. He can't do that because all of DC's power is coming right up underneath his knee. He's going to lift that knee into the sky. So he lifts that knee into the sky and he's controlling the end of the ankle, keeping the leg straight. Alright, Derrick at this time is bouncing around and he's doing alright, he's not falling over yet. As the power gets to the top of the lift, what DC is then going to do is he's going to switch the strong leg, the leg under the knee. He's going to bring this leg in, the right leg, and step it underneath the knee. So he steps up the knee, and now he's going to explode upwards, and he's going to get Derrick to hop into the sky, and he's going to use this leg to sweep the back of this leg. Hop, sweep, fall over. Beautiful. Again, DC has wanted to keep hold of the leg. The leg has slipped through. Just a little tiny detail here, by the way. Derrick's nice at keeping distance. Look at Derrick. As he lands, he's going to stick a post right in on DC. Try and keep him away. Try and keep him some space. What's that done? That stops DC diving straight on top of him. A lot of guys try and get their legs in, try and put their legs around the person, try and put their legs up. Derrick's not having any of that. Derrick is already getting up. He's not allowing himself to go flat. He's not closing a guard. He's not doing anything like that. He's decided, I am going to try and get up. So he has his base, his post, and he's got this trying to stop DC getting to him. And he manages to pull his hips underneath him, push DC away, so DC has to clear that post to go to head and arm there. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it's the front headlock, lovely. But yeah, you can see that Derrick isn't a terrible anti-wrestler. He's very good at getting up, but DC's technique there was just absolutely delightful. Never perfect until that very last takedown. So I hope you enjoyed that. Try and build it into your game if you can, and thanks very much and good luck.